Allow me to share something with you. Get comfy and pull up a chair because what we are currently seeing in the world of professional tennis is more than a narrative, it's a phenomena. Our understanding of marketability, popularity, and the unadulterated force of digital connectivity in contemporary sports has undergone a radical change. Eala Alex, you'll not forget that name. Learn it by heart. Put it like a tattoo on your brain. Because the tennis world has been talking about her non-stop since March 15th. 2026, analysts are scratching their heads, veterans are raising eyebrows, and sponsors are reaching for their checkbooks with a level of desperation that is uncommon in this sport. The ramifications of this situation are enormous, so we must have a serious discussion about it. This goes beyond a single player from the Philippine ranks. This is about the entire framework for measuring stardom in professional sports being completely upended and disturbed until the preconceived notions are dispelled. Let's begin with the shocking revelation that ignited the tennis world. Former American professional Sam Querrey looked into the microphone during the most recent episode of the Nothing Major podcast and posed a question that immediately caught the attention of tennis media worldwide. Eala now attracting more attention than world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka. Give that some thought. Allow it to breathe. Give it time to marinate in your thoughts. We are discussing Sabalenka, a formidable force on the circuit, a player with Grand Slam credentials, and a reputation that precedes her each time she takes the court, name that matters in every tennis discussion worldwide. And now for Sam Querrey, a man who has worked in the professional circuit and has a deep understanding of the industry. He is aware of what makes a difference and creates genuine buzz. Additionally, he raises the potential that a 20-year-old Filipino who is presently ranked outside of the top May 25th be receiving more attention from around the world than the world's second-best player. That's hardly a lighthearted remark. That isn't a fleeting remark meant to occupy airwaves. That is a statement that the previous regulations may no longer be applicable. That flare was sent into the sky, signaling a profound shift in our understanding of star power. John Isner, a fellow former professional, entered the conversation and both of them brought up an indisputable fact that is supported by hard, unvarnished statistics. Eala's matches and appearances have generated an unusual amount of online response. According to one recent example, a single program attracted approximately 94,000 live viewers, or 94,000 persons viewing in real time. Analysts who dedicate their entire careers to monitoring audience patterns and digital indicators were taken aback by that figure. When you contrast that degree of participation with what a number of vary. When players pull, it becomes impossible to overlook the discrepancy. The opening turns into a canyon. To this point, we must take a moment to comprehend the broader change taking place in professional sports. The way fans interact with athletes has been completely transformed by internet channels. Rankings are important. Titles are important. Those items will always be significant. However, a parallel economy of attention exists in 2026, and it follows its own set of regulations. Even if you are the world's greatest player, you could still lose to someone who has a captivating backstory and a devoted following that defies expectations. Additionally, Eala's fan following is growing. They are arriving in large numbers. They are exhibiting an enthusiasm that is attracting attention throughout the whole sport. One of the most fascinating narratives of the Miami Open, which is currently taking place at Hard Rock Stadium, is the excitement surrounding this young Filipina star. You will sense it as you go around the grounds. You can feel the excitement. Eala, seed number 32, is given a first-round BYSA result. She has more time to prepare, whereas many competitors struggle through the first few rounds, battling anxiety and exhaustion. She goes straight to the round of 64. That structural advantage makes the draw much more intriguing for a player with a momentum. While others expend energy, she has time to adjust, research opponents, and hone her skills. However, this is when things become serious. This is the point at which this becomes something historic rather than just a fantastic story. She is not only having fun right now, she's playing for the future. She is competing on behalf of history itself. Eala made it to the semifinals at Miami last year. T was an incredible run. T attracted attention. T made her presence on the largest stages known. She received 390 ranking points for that run. These are the points she is now defending. She is now ranked at number 28 in the world. Analysts predict that she could get even closer to a historic milestone for Philippine tennis, a spot in the top 20, if she can pull off another deep run and match or surpass her performance from the previous season. Consider the implications of that. Sit with it for a long time. The first ever Filipina tennis player to place in the Women's Tennis Association's top 20, that is more than just a personal accomplishment that is acknowledged and then forgotten. For a whole country, that is a moment. That is a moment that goes beyond tennis and becomes greater than any one person's achievement. That's a generational issue. Millions of teenage athletes in Southeast Asia are motivated to pick up a racket and aim higher by such a breakthrough. The fans are aware of this. Their bones sense it. Because of this, the practice sessions are jam-packed with onlookers who came hours in advance to witness a peak. Because of this, internet engagement is skyrocketing and surpassing all previous records. Because of this, the phrase Eala mania has become a staple in tennis media terminology. This is where the narrative becomes even more interesting, so let's now discuss the business side. To that point, the actual extent of the situation becomes evident. Alex Eala's growing influence extends beyond what takes place behind white lines. Anyone who studies the nexus of business and athletics must pay attention to how it has spread into the commercial realm of international sports. According to reports that were making the rounds as of Sunday, March 15, 2026, this rising star is being closely watched by major multinational brands. Calls are being made, meetings are being planned, and contracts are being drafted. Her recent visit to the Nike World Headquarters in Oregon was the event that sparked the topic more than any other. Eala was featured in advertising displays in the brand's renowned athlete tunnels during that tour. For those who don't know, some of the biggest names in sports have historically been connected to that region. Legends are what we are discussing. We are discussing Serena Williams. We are discussing LeBron James. Icons that go beyond their specific sports, names that define eras. Alex Eala is now strolling those same hallways, showing up in those same exhibits, and standing next to greatness. It's not a coincidence. That level of visibility is not something Nike distributes carelessly. Not everyone is placed in those tunnels. They are expressing themselves. A flag is being planted. With the assurance of a company that has built its empire on spotting exceptional talent before the rest of the world does. They are placing bets on her future. Eala's growing international profile and the burgeoning tennis audience in Southeast Asia are highlighted in the company's Full Bloom campaign. It is impossible to overestimate the importance of this change for the sports marketing industry. Young player who is emerging from outside the established tennis powerhouses and attracting the interest of a whole new fan base. She recently won over $15,720 in prizes at the Indian Wells Open. There is more to that number than just a check deposited into a bank account. A T stands for momentum. T is a sign of approval. T symbolizes the consistent financial growth that goes hand in hand with her ascent on the circuit. These achievements give young athletes who are starting their careers the means to invest in stronger training regimens, bolster coaching teams, and create long-term career stability. To this point, every dollar generated represents a brick in the foundation of the future. However, this is the point at which we must distinguish between noise and reality because not everything that circulates online merits our attention. Not all headlines are based on reality. A widely circulated rumor that Abu Dhabi had made a $16 billion contract offer was swiftly written off as false. $16 billion. Take a moment to consider how ridiculous that is. Allow it to pass over you. Anyone with a working knowledge of sports economics quickly refuted that rumor since it was so absurd and unrelated to any real possibility. However, this is what makes even the rumor noteworthy. Eala's career is garnering a lot of attention, as evidenced by the widespread disinformation. The rumor started because individuals are eager to learn more about her. This gamer has such a ravenous thirst for content that false information can spread like wildfire before anyone has a chance to check it. That is a curse as well as a blessing. T indicates that her profile is growing in unexpected ways. T also suggests that anyone who follows this story should be cautious about their beliefs and the sources of their knowledge. Now that the tournament is underway and the prospects are exciting, let's discuss what comes next. Fantasy brackets are made up of the possible matchups. As the event goes on, the draw structure may lead to interesting clashes. With world number 1 Aguidatek in the field and elite players like Sabalenka getting ready for their campaigns, there is already a lot of attention going into Miami. The pressure cooker is heating up. Tennis fans have vivid memories of Eala and Aguidatek's prior meetings. Anyone who witnessed those contests will never forget them. There has already been a lot of debate on social media and in sports media about the possibility of another match between the two players. There is a lot of conjecture. A prospective meeting later in the tournament is made possible if both players make it to the early rounds. That duel would be an appointment watch for people who have been following the narrative. It would be the kind of event that confirms everything we have been talking about on the influence of story in contemporary sports. Television executives would fantasize about a collision of storylines. This question, however, looms over everything like a persistent cloud. Will this increase in focus result in yet another outstanding performance on the court? Rising players frequently make their public debut during the Miami Open. The competition has a legendary track record of catapulting careers into the sky. Here, names have been mentioned. In these courts, legends have begun their journey toward immortality. Additionally, Fans worldwide are keeping a careful eye on Eala's story to see what the next chapter will bring. As the limelight surrounding her grows brighter every day, it's no coincidence that large groups congregate during her practice sessions. These are not uninformed bystanders who happen upon something intriguing. It is neither a coincidence or a slow news day that the international media are increasing their coverage. Strong social media engagement isn't produced by bots or algorithms. All of this suggests a link between an athlete and a worldwide audience that is genuine and potent and cannot be imitated or faked through marketing tricks. Eala's ability to engage with fans, especially in Southeast Asia, has made her one of the sport's most potential rising stars for advertisers and organizers alike. There are significant marketing ramifications. The cultural ramifications are far more significant. Growth potential appears to be virtually infinite. Here's what makes this tale so captivating. What prevents you from turning away? She is barely 20 years old. 20 years of age. Continue to ascend. Still evolving. Still only scraping the surface of what she may become once everything comes together. Imagine what would happen if she broke into the top 20 if she is already receiving this level of attention at this point in her career. What would happen if she were to win a significant tournament? What would happen if she continued to grow at this rate for another 5 years? The ceiling blends into the clouds because it is so high. The tennis community is watching Miami to see if Eala can turn the excitement into hardware, not simply to see who wins the trophy. They are keeping an eye on whether the intense practice sessions, digital interaction, Nike advertising, and on the grandest stages, viral moments become concrete. They wish to verify the phenomenon's veracity. Already, one thing is certain. Her adventure is generating a lot of enthusiasm, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. Eala has become one of the most talked about personalities in tennis right now, whether it's because of the audacious remarks made by former players like Sam Querrey, the viral events at Nike headquarters, or the sheer power of online engagement that defies simple explanation. She is surrounded like a force field by the discourse. In a career that already seems headed for greatness, the upcoming games could be pivotal. She might go closer to that historic top 20 rating if she has a strong run here. Her reputation as more than a phenomenon or a flash in the pan might be solidified by a breakthrough performance. Might make her a real danger to the status quo, a force that tennis's top names will have to deal with for years to come. The scene is ready. Hard Rock Stadium is the center of attention for the tennis community. The plot has been written and is awaiting its resolution. All that's left is for Eala to take the court and demonstrate to everyone what the future holds. She just needs to grab the moment that has been developing and make it something she won't soon forget. Everything might change in Miami. When tracing the trajectory of her career, historians can point to this tournament as the pivotal moment. Additionally, this tournament feels like fate knocking on the door with both fists to fans who have been following this incredible journey from the start. The time is running out. Now is the time. The entire globe is observing. With a pen that never runs out, the young Filipina celebrity at the center of it all is prepared to leave her mark on tennis history.